working with the Easy Former. This is an automatic platform for shaping the letter edge material. As the pattern printer, as other softwares, as other processes, you cut your plastic and your back material on a CNC, then you import files to the Easy Former software. To do that, we work with AI files only. And so an AI file is imported in a simple way, either with your memory stick, or you can run this machine on a network. You can choose your file. That is, it'll appear on your screen. You can drag it. You can zoom it. The machine has different basic functions that you need to run this platform. And one is you have a command to reset the machine. That finds the 0 on the cutting and the bending process. So when I click the home or the reset, what it does is a reset to 0, the cutting tool, and it goes up and down, as well as reset the bending head of the machine. So it finds your 0 point, and that will be critical when you do your roll, so you can have the curving on the proper way. So that's the first step you do on the Easy Former machine. It's important to keep the system clean, so it's not leaving any marks on your material. The starting point, typically we start the letters on the upper part of the letter, so we can have that bonding point, that tab point, if we're looking from eye level up, then that joint is not going to be visible from the ground. So if we have this letter shape, we actually know how long a material do we have, so we can prepare ahead. This system is actually set up in millimeters, so you know that is 1,938 millimeters, so it's a meter, and it's about 2 yards of material. So having that, the machine will see what the router followed when it was doing the cutting of the shape. So it's following the knots that the router needed it to do that. It started there, it's a straight stroke all the way to 2, then it's a curving point to 3, 4, and so on. Sometimes you want to cut a piece in different sections, and that's possible by selecting an endpoint. An endpoint can be selected. What would then show is that it's only doing what is in yellow, and so if it's a complicated shape or it's a repair, you can actually do this section and then do the other part next, or if you already have that, you can do it like that. So I'm going to take the points away so you don't see them. I'm going to clear it, and I'm going to select just one starting point. We already reset the machine, so it's set to go, and we can run it. So every time the machine is going to a point, it cuts on a bending point, and it will move accordingly. So it's showing a bend. To do our curving to the left, curving to our right. So there's basically two commands. One, the cutting, two, the forming. and one has to wait for the other one to do his work, the cutting, and then the forming will continue. When the shape is finished, actually we have a deep cut there that it can be easily split from the other part just by going back and forth. So at this point you probably don't see the shape clearly on your mind. That's because we have selected the option of really not doing the bending on the machine, because the corners are quite simple. If the lengths are correct and the corners, the cut is on the right spot, that means that the shaping is pretty simple. The curves are more critical than anything else. We have a section that was the first one to be done, where we're gonna prepare a tab for our joint, for a tab joint there. We don't need this piece of material here. We can cut from the line up. I left this tab a little long, so you can pretty easy reduce it to the length that you require. And then the corners are a simple process that we can do either with a pneumatic bender as with our hand tool, that actually what it does is square the metal and shape it accordingly. So this I can do with our pneumatic bender. If we come here, we can proceed with that like that. As you can see here, the machine only cut on the back part, but not on the front. That means this is a reverse bend. It's going to bend opposite to how we normally do it. So it's going to be a bend down. You line up your cut on the top. So you do that. And so that's one part. I can, like I mentioned it before, we can actually do our manual bender, a hand bender too, by doing that, squaring the bend and applying it. We have an up bend here, because it's cut on both sides of the material. We have another bend down, lining up our tool and doing the bending. We have two bends up that we can do with our letter edge hand bender tool, just by doing so. This shape can be easily then fit to our shape by doing so. This is that critical point where the material has to fit inside this shape. This will come first, so you can get to the farther part. This one will come this way, getting to the end and shaping it just like that. So we can see that with the Easy Former, with the automatic platform, I mean, it only takes minutes to actually shape a complicated shape. This then will be put on our peg bowl table or metal table for jigging and gluing. Another interesting thing is that is noteworthy to consider is that we finish a letter shape here at this point, and most of other systems, because the way they run, you have to actually run the next piece starting on your 0. Remember that we mentioned that your beginning, your 0, is right where the blades start. So if that will be the case, we're actually wasting about a foot of material in between shapes. With the letter edge Easy Former system, we can actually just click return, and the material will actually return to our point where we want it to start. So we're not actually wasting material in between shapes. That makes the machine ready for the next piece, so you're not also wasting that material, and you're ready to set the next as we move on to the next one.